Okay, guys, so in this sketch, well, in this project, what we did is we went ahead and put the LEDs and the resistors onto our robot. So as you can see, I've got my LEDs and my resistors hooked up the exact same way it's written in the directions. And currently, I have it turned off. It's on 0. And the reason I have it turned off is because I haven't if I turn it on, it's actually going to run because I've already tested this. There we go. So this is what it does with my code. And so my code is right here. And you can see what I've got it doing is it's got the output. So I'm just going to hook this up here, compile and run my sketch. Should run forward and then it should back up. Now, I know that on your screen, it probably looks like those lights are flickering, but in real life, they are not. It's because the resolution on the camera is catching those flickers, whereas your eye wouldn't. So let's go through how I did it. I had to set pin mode 13 to an output. And so what you can see is that it's got the red and the blue are both on. So now I'm going to go through and I want to make it blink. And this code here is just left over from what I was working on for my other activity. I just have it drive forward and drive backwards, just for 1 second in each direction so I can test that the servos are working. And so I'm going to come over to my directions, and basically in my directions, which is essentially what I would type, over here, it says make a void loop. And in your void loop, now you're going to have 13 go high for half a second and then have it go low for half a second. And so now let's try uploading this and see how this is different. I'll give it a second here. There it goes. It goes forward, it goes back, and now it flickers, but it's really fast. And notice it's moving. Well, the reason it's moving is because I'm using servo attach at 13 and pin 13 with my light on it. So here's the thing, if I don't want it to move like that, I have to move my left motor. So to get it to stop doing that, I'm going to have to move my servo out of the 13 motor pin and put it into 11. And so, hold on, and I'll show you how I'm doing that. So, I'm first going to turn it off, unplug it, and so I'm going to take my left motor here out of 13, and I'm going to place it here in 11. Now, I can plug this back in, turn that on, and notice it moves the right one still because that hasn't changed. This is now flickering at half a second, but now it's not doing that weird going back and forth thing. It's not jumping like it was. And that's because I have now moved my pin. So to make it so that it still drives, I have to go and change which pin I'm putting my servo in. So in this case, I have my servo left attached at 13. Now it's attached at 11. And that should be it. So once I change that, I should now be able to, the rest of my code should still be fine. Digital write 13 goes high and it goes low. So 500 is really, really short. It's half a second. So I'm going to change it to 1,000 on my delays for the on and off for my loop so that you can actually see it a little easier on camera. So I'm going to go ahead and download it. And there it goes. There you go. So now that red one is blinking and it's an obvious blink. And you're saying, okay, but why is the other one still lit up? Well, because I'm programming that one at 12, and for some reason it's powering 12 because my motor was at 12. So, and then 12, I'm going to go ahead and move that other motor to 10. There it goes. And we're going to take that out. Whoops, there we go. I'm going to put it in 10. Is that right? Yes, 11. Takes the sack and there you go. So it's reading that loop after it read the setup. I'm willing to bet you didn't catch it. Did you see that red? There it goes, and now it's going to blank. So did you see that red? When I hit this, it flashes that red. You remember when we had that, when we were doing our servos and that 13, it would stutter before it started? Now, instead of stuttering, it's powering a light to flash as an indicator saying, yes, I'm getting power, and yes, I'm thinking about running and getting ready to run the code. So there you go. That is essentially all of activity 3.